So there's always been this split within me, this duality, this inner conflict between two sides of myself. One is based in order and structure, and it wants to build something that's real and tangible. And the other side of me just wants to be the glitch in the matrix. It wants to tear everything down. It wants to burn the building down and go live out in the wilderness and escape from, the strictures of everyday being. And this is the paradox within me that has gone throughout my life, but I want to discuss it and explore it in a way that helps us reconcile it, because if you're anything like that, it's not like you have to pick one side or the other. And in fact, by picking one side or the other, you're actually fracturing yourself down the middle. And we have to learn to allow these two beings to come together and integrate into each other so that we can reach some sense of wholeness in our life as beings and as humans, so that we don't have to give in to one side or the other, but we allow each side to lead when it's most necessary. And I think a lot of the ways that the structured side of me, the hierarchical side of me, you could call this the more intuitive side of myself, the side that probably is a little bit more up in the clouds, but has a belief system that is maybe more geared towards God and spirituality and just the collective oneness of everything. And I think that has a lot to do with that structured side, because when we look up above for higher powers, we're essentially calling to God to be like this person that we worship or praise, right? It's like that is the hierarchy. It's like he's up there and we're down here. And I tend to see that part of myself as like the one who is more okay with playing by the rules, and knows that, in fact, that we as humans have built a society based on hierarchy and rules. And the way to transcend those rules is to master them, is to become lucid within the matrix. And it's to become aware that this is how things work. And it's pretty simple. I can figure out the rules and I can get really good at them, and I can build myself up, and I can kind of rank up through this hierarchy. And I think that's good. But I think the other side of it, the rebellious side of me, is like, fuck that, fuck those rules, and fuck your pretend, status. I'm not going to pretend you're important because I'm dependent on you for, maybe it's a paycheck or, just being dependent on somebody else. But I think one thing that we need to remember from this rebellion side is that we can't live in rebellion all of our lives. And in fact, we need to learn how to be led in order for us to lead. And oftentimes the rebellious side is taken over by an individual. It's our individualistic side. It's our lone wolf side who wants to, stray from the pack and do its own thing. But there's a part of it too that wants to like be amongst a group of lone wolves. But it's like, how can you lead if there's no structure to that? You know what I mean? It's kind of a free for all. So we need to be able to have respect for the structure and the hierarchy, and also allow ourselves to stray away from the pack every now and then to keep our sense of individualism. Because another, like a extreme part of the hierarchy spectrum, is that we're going to conform to the group, the norms of the group. And this could be a good or it could be a bad thing, but it could be very stagnating to somebody who wants to build something on their own, who wants to break away from the matrix. Like, just to put it in more pragmatic or practical terms, it's like, do you want to build a business? Do you want to create your own life, a life that you believe is worth living, where you have freedom, you have financial freedom, you have autonomy, you can travel, your life is essentially a life that you don't want to escape from. You know what I mean? As cliche as that sounds, like everybody says that now, but it's true, you know? And so if you want that type of life, getting comfortable in a hierarchical conformist system is it's going to draw you in. It's going to make you feel nice because, you know, yeah, now you're making a steady paycheck. Maybe you're making really good money. You got a nice car, a nice truck. You got the house. You're in a cookie cutter home. And it's like you get this way of life that is very comfortable. And I'm not saying that that's bad or that my way or someone else's way is better. I'm just saying if you want something that is not of the norm, not what society tells us to do, then you're going to have to honor that rebellious part of you. And you're going to have to honor that individual part of you that people are going to criticize and make fun of because you look weird because you don't want all the things that everybody else wants. And maybe you're delaying this gratification for something greater that you're not even sure if it'll ever happen, but it will. You just got to keep going for it. But my main point is that, you know, we have to allow ourselves to let those people, that individual rebel, take the lead when we start to see ourselves becoming a little bit too conformish, or if it starts straying us from away from our goals. And then on the flip side, you know, once we do build that thing, let's say we're carving our own path and we're building a business, but now it's, you know, the solo, the lone wolf, the rebellion, it's a little more rooted in chaos and there's not as much structure. So you need a little bit more structure in your life. So you're going to have to honor that hierarchical, you know, structured order side of your personality to take hold a little bit, because you're going to need systems to build that business or to build that following or that company that you want to, whatever it is you're trying to do, you're going to need a system for it. Allow the side to lead that is necessary for the moment, and that we don't push away our structured side and we don't push away our rebellious side. Because ultimately what we're doing, like I said in the beginning, is we're fracturing ourselves and we're creating a shadow. And if we don't integrate that shadow within ourselves, we'll never actually become fully integrated humans and feel whole and feel happy about what we're doing in life. We're always going to have this piece of us that we're either ashamed of or that we don't want other people to see. And we need to embrace those things. We need to embrace that part of ourselves. We need to embrace all of the cringe, all of the bad parts of ourselves, the things that we hide from people so that we fit in, or you know, we avoid criticism or avoid being seen, you know. So hopefully this idea was conveyed. I did it in the best way possible. This is a journey for me right now. I'm literally just trying to freestyle these ideas out onto the camera here so that they over time become more structured in themselves, and so that we can get these ideas across so that they will help you. Because ultimately what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to put into words things that people feel but they don't know how to articulate. And those are oftentimes the things that we need to pay attention to, because it's trying to tell us something. That is trying to tell us that there's something going on within that we're not really paying attention to, but we need to pick up on that thing, and we need to learn how to express it and articulate it. Because once we can bring it out into consciousness and see it for what it is, we can frame it and know how to work with it, you know. So that's the goal here. And if you have any questions, anything that you want to talk to me one-on-one with, there is a Calendly link in my profile. You can DM me on Instagram, and please like, share, subscribe, and you know, hopefully we'll be getting some more good content out to you. All right, peace.